I'm Dr. Regina Roy, Professor of Pharmacology working at Karuna Medical College, Palakkad, Kerala State, South India. The topic of my presentation is effects of graded doses of flaxseeds, Linum psittacium, on learning and memory and possible toxic effect in organs, an experimental study in Wistar albino rats. Acetylcholine is considered as the most important neurotransmitter involved in the regulation of cognitive functions. Selective loss of cholinergic neurons and decrease in choline acetyltransferase activity is a characteristic feature of senile dementia of the Alzheimer type. In the last 10 years, epidemiological, preclinical, and clinical data have enlightened the possible preventive action of omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acids in Alzheimer's disease. Why this study? A strong memory depends on the health and vitality of brain. The human brain has an astonishing ability to adapt and change even into old age. This is called neuroplasticity. The research shows that omega-3 fatty acids are particularly beneficial for brain health. Flax seeds, also called linseeds, are the richest sources of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, alpha-linolenic acid. So these are some of the pictures of flaxseed flower, the flaxseed pods before harvest. The objectives of my study. Number one, to study the effect of graded doses of flaxseed on learning and memory. Number two, to study the possible toxic effects. Number three, to determine the effect of flax seeds on brain acetylcholinesterase, oxidative stress markers, and on antioxidant enzyme level. So the methodology, study population, it included male Wistar albino rats. 30 albino rats were divided into 3 groups of 10 each. Group 1 was control. Group 2, positive control for scopolamine, and Group 3, flaxseed and scopolamine group. This scopolamine, it is nothing but it is an anticholinergic drug. It induces transient amnesia. So that was selected as the positive control for this study. And flaxseed was given in the graded doses of 20%, 40%, 60%, up to 80% in rat diet. It was given orally, and this flaxseed was given to third group. The first control group only rat diet, second group only scopolamine, which induces transient amnesia, and third group flaxseed and scopolamine. Both the drug as well as the flaxseed was given. And this scopolamine, it is given just 1 hour before the test. That is, we will be testing the neurobehavioral test to test the learning and memory in the rats. So 1 hour before doing the test, we will be injecting intraperitoneally 1 milligram per kilogram of scopolamine to the second group as well as third group. Third group is already on flaxseed, second group only on scopolamine. And the training of animals were done for 10 days prior to the doing the experiment. Clearance also obtained from the Institutional Animal Ethical Committee, and all the procedures were done as per CPCSA guidelines. It's a committee for the prevention of, it's a committee for the purpose of control and supervision of experiments on animals. So that is CPCSA guidelines. And all this study, it was done in a period of 40 weeks. So the first, starting baseline, we have done the neurobehavioral test for all the group. Then from 6th week onwards, we were giving the flaxseed to third group, and like that it was continued 20%, 40%, 60%, 80% like that. The flaxseed was given in rat diet. And at the end of 40th week, the animals were sacrificed, and they were sent for, the internal organs were sent for histopathological examination. Homogenized brain tissue was sent for biochemical analysis. So this is in nutshell, 30 male visitor albino rats, control group, positive control for scopolamine, flaxseed and scopolamine group, flaxseed was administered 20%, 40%, 60%, 80% in ratio diet orally, scopolamine was given 1 milligram per kilogram intraperitoneally, training of animals was for 10 days, then clearance also obtained, CPC, it was as per the CPCHC guidelines, we conducted everything, and at the end of 40th week, homogenized brain tissue was sent for biochemical analysis. Now coming to the neurobehavioral test, which we started, baseline we have done, and from 6th week onwards, the real test that is on flaxseed. So this, one of the tests was Cook's pole climbing apparatus. So here we can see metal rods are there, and when here there are two switches, there is shock as well as buzzer. So this is the unconditioned stimulus and this is the conditioned stimulus. So when we give the shock, naturally the animal will climb up the road. So to escape from the shock. And we did like that for two, three times. After that, we were giving the buzzer alarm followed by shock. So, and after a few trials, once the buzzer alarm is heard, immediately the animal will climb on the road. That is called conditioned avoidance response. So we will see that. Now, conditioned avoidance response, we will be giving the buzzer alarm. So the time taken by the animal to climb onto the road, it is taken. So the that was the number one test, and the second test, it was swimming test apparatus. So this apparatus consists of the 3/4 level of this tank. It consists of water. The animal will be kept inside this wheel, and to escape from drowning in the water, the animal will be keep on climbing up. So this will make a rotation of the apparatus. So that rotations, the number of rotations is recorded here. So we Then the third one was elevated plus maze. This elevated plus maze, it is having two closed limbs and two open limbs. So the natural tendency of a rodent, when if it is kept in the open limb also, it may go to the closed limb and stays there. So we were checking the duration that the animal stays in the closed limb. So we will see that. Then water maze test. This is another test for testing the learning and memory. So this consists of opaque water and animal. There is a platform, hidden platform here. Animal will be kept just diagonally opposite to the hidden platform, and the time taken by the animal to reach this platform is noted. So for checking the learning and memory, we will see that. Sorry. Yes. So the time taken by the animal, that is for control as well as the group 2 and group 3, we were checking for all animals what is the time taken by the animal to reach the hidden platform. So those were the neurobehavioral tests we have done. Now we will see the results. So the conditioned avoidance response, that is using the buzzer. See, I have taken group 1, group 2, group 3. Yellow is group 1, this is group 2, group 3. Group 1, group 2, group 3. Okay, the pink is group 3, that is the flaxseed group. So here we can see the time taken by the animal, it is very much reduced in case of this group 3, that is the flaxseed group. But for scopolamine, it takes longer time. That means it has learned something to climb up on listening to the buzzer sound. Then next, swim dust. Swim dust, the number of escape rotations that is actually marked. Here again, we can see it is more marked in the case of flaxseed group, that is G3. This pink is G3. So it is again significant. P-value is significant also. So the number of rotations, it is more. So it has learned how to escape from drowning. Elevated plus means the closed dam, the time that is staying inside the closed dam, that is again noted. Here again you can see compared to scopolamine group, this flaxseed group, it stays longer time in the closed dam. That is, it is almost similar to the normal. Water maze test, again, here I have taken only the group 2 and group 3 comparison. Here, the time taken by the animal to reach the platform, it is less in case of this group 3. And we have taken both short-term memory as well as long-term memory. That is, immediately after the training, 1 and 24 hours after the training. So in both cases, the time taken by the animal, it is reduced, very much reduced when compared to scopolamine group in case of group 3, that is the flaxseed group, and it is p-value is also significant. And I have told at the end of 40th week, the animals were sacrificed and sent for histopathological examination. So this is the microscopy external appearance, not much difference, but there is some widening of white matter in case of G2, whereas it is not seen in case of G3. There is a flaxseed group. But when we see the microscopic picture, there is disorganization in the hippocampus of G2. There is a scopolamine group, whereas it is normal in case of G3. Now coming to kidney, externally not much, there is a microscopically not much. But when we come to the microscopic picture, there is focal nuclear loss in tubular epithelium. So in case of G2, that is a scopolamine group, whereas in case of G3, that is the flaxseed group, it is normal. Now liver, again microscopically not much difference, but when we come to microscopic, there is centrilobular necrosis in G2, that is scopolamine group, whereas it is almost, it is similar to the normal one, that is in G3, that is a flaxseed group. So this is the centrilobular necrosis. Now we are coming to the biochemical analysis. We have tested the different the markers of oxidative stress, then antioxidant enzymes, as well as acetylcholine esterase enzyme. So malondialdehyde, it is the marker of stress. So it is a stress, oxidative stress. So here we can see that it is very much reduced when compared to scopolamine in G3, that is the flaxseed group. So this scopolamine, it actually induces stress, but here the stress is very much reduced. So malondialdehyde value is also reduced, and the p-value is also significant. Then glutathione transferase as well as this superoxide dismutase, both they are antioxidant enzymes. So here when compared to control, it is increased in case of G3, that is a flaxseed group. Here also superoxide dismutase compared to control, it is increased. Acetylcholine esterase, this is an enzyme which degrades acetylcholine. As we all know, in Alzheimer's disease, acetylcholine is a very important neurotransmitter. Acetylcholine esterase, if it is there, it may degrade the acetylcholine. So in scopolamine actually induces the formation of more of acetylcholine esterase, whereas this scopolamine plus flaxseed group, this group compared to this scopolamine group, it is reduced in case of flaxseed. So acetylcholine esterase is reduced in case of flaxseed. So coming to the discussion part, or what are the results? That is based on the results, what is the discussion? Memory enhancing effect of flaxseed is confirmed from the significant results of neurobehavioral test by Paul climbing test, swim test, elevated plus maze, and water maze. Second, protective effects on the organs like kidney, liver, and brain. It was evident in the histopathological examination of the organs. And ability of flaxseed to ameliorate the brain oxidative stress and prevent cholinergic deficits by regulating the brain acetylcholine esterase level. This is again evident from the biochemical analysis. The transient amnesia produced with the anticholinergic drug scopolamine is reduced by the use of flaxseed. That is because of the cholinergic effect. So scopolamine, it is an anticholinergic drug. So its effect actually it is reduced by flaxseed. That means it has some cholinergic effect, this flaxseed, because it reduces the acetylcholine esterase enzyme. Oxygen-free radicals, they are implicated in the process of age-related decline in cognitive performance, which is responsible for the development of Alzheimer's disease in elderly persons. Flaxseed, which is rich in omega-3 fatty acid, is having antioxidant property. BDNF, that is brain-derived neurotrophic factor, it is a neurotropin which plays an important role in neuronal development, survival, plasticity, and possibly in memory formation. Phytoestrogens improves spatial memory through BDNF pathway. Flaxseed is the richest dietary source of lignans, a type of phytoestrogen. Further research is warranted to achieve conclusive results regarding the role of flaxseed as a memory enhancer. So, take-home message. It is confirmed from the study that flaxseed is a remarkable memory enhancer. Consumption of flaxseed, even up to 80% of daily diet in animals for a period of 8 months, did not show any evident toxicity. As flaxseed reduces brain acetylcholine esterase, it improves the cholinergic activity essential in Alzheimer's disease. Flaxseed is a natural food supplement and hence does not cause any harm to the body. So in summing up, flaxseed, the richest known source of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, is recommended as the supplement of choice for Alzheimer's patients. These are some of my references. Thank you.